G'day guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Grown Gamers podcast.
Are we recording?
No,
Okay.
I'm just sort of checking.
Yeah, checking. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1.
You alternate because you're doing a dumb voice to normal voice, so it's doing this.
Yeah. Can't help it. Can't help it. Can't help it. There it is.
Can't help it.
Regular. Just regular.
I'm still louder than you. Can't help it.
Can't do much.
Can't
It's
do
in
much.
my face. Like, it's in my face.
I salt the fruit, I paint pictures with my words, tangled thoughts and fears. Growinggames.com, Rory Favreau, tangled thoughts and feelings.
And we're on. Hey there guys, welcome to the Grown Gamers podcast. My name's Tor. My name's
We're recording now.
Fucking hell, seriously. Can we start again?
No. Yes.
All right. Hey there guys, and welcome to the Grown Gamers podcast. My name's Tori Favreau, and with me, as always, is the delectable Ash Brooks. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
Not too bad, Crackles. Wow. Okay, so you can find the Grown Gamers podcast on Facebook. Type in the Grown Gamers podcast.
We're doing well today.
You'll find the page. You'll see the page, and you'll find it. Now,
And
please
Apple and Spotify.
iTunes and Spotify, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're on both.
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 What have you been up to?
Not much. Not much. I started Ghost of Tsushima,
We'll talk about that game.
but not Last of Us.
How about, no pressure. How about, just for shits and giggles though, we do a review of Ghost of Tsushima with no spoilers afterward?
Okay.
Like first impressions.
Yeah, I can use my half an hour of playtime for that.
I can use my 7 hours.
That's about what I've got on Last of Us.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I know you're interested in what I've been up to as well.
What have you been up to?
I went to the dentist today.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So I hate going to the dentist, and I haven't been for about 3 years. And yeah,
Every time I go, they take a tooth out. I wish I was joking.
it was like in fucking Candle Cove, that thing made out of teeth. If you haven't seen it, Candle Cove. All right, so yeah, I got to keep my teeth. The dentist did an
didn't.
X-ray, and he was like, "You've got fucking raw bone protruding inside your mouth,
Oh, that's not good.
exposed bone protruding from
You
your
were joking
gums."
before.
No, just like, you've got exposed bone coming out of your gums. We're going to keep that today.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got all my teeth, and at the age of 47, to go to a dentist and shit myself the whole time until I leave, to have nothing done and him say, "Good boy, would you like a lollipop?"
Except it's in the form of a bill.
Yeah, $300.
It's a really expensive lollipop.
It's a super expensive lollipop. The thing I fucking hate is, like, I don't know about you guys where you go to the dentist, hopefully at a dentist's, but I hate the fact he's like, "Yep, we're just going to look at this." And I understood I'd probably have to have x-rays because I have not been for several years. It turns out I haven't been for 3 years or something. And yeah, fucking terrorization. And so I knew I'd have to get x-rayed. And I said to Ash, this is going to be expensive. And so they've done the x-rays. It's funny though, it's as though the dentist doesn't give a fuck about the dental assistant. Like, she lines up the fucking x-ray machine. You put a little apron on me. Looks like I got to go cook a fucking dinner. Who's just going to put an apron on you?
Put an apron on.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
An apron?
I wouldn't mind me some fucking roast veggies, please. And so I've got a little apron on. She's pointed the little, give you radiation sickness at my mouth.
Yeah.
And they always get you to chomp on something, and I guess it's so as they can see your teeth better in a certain angle or whatever. But I have, seriously...
All our real high-class dentist listeners can tell us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dentist listeners. Yeah,
I should insert a cricket fucking noise there.
yeah, because there's none.
If you're a dentist, please get in touch with the show. So they've got the lead-lined apron for me, and then I'm guessing the room has some sort of lead lining in it as well. And no shit, he's outside with his fucking little button that takes
Yeah,
the
little
photo.
button that takes the photo.
He barely let her get out of the room before taking the photo each time. It's like half your ass is inside. Bam! She comes back in. Bam! Oh, sorry. Bam, bam, bam. Anyhow, trip to the dentist. That was done. $300 later. Aussie dollars. Thank God I do pay a small amount of money for my own private health cover. So it doesn't feel as bad, even though it is as bad. But it didn't feel as bad. But it was as bad. So I went to the dentist. Other than that, I've done nothing. Harumph! All right, guys, let's just jump straight into it after, finding out what was going on here. What have I been playing? I have mainly been playing Ghost of Tsushima, or Sushi Mama, as I like to call it.
Sashimi.
Swami. But today, was it last night in the middle of the night?
No, today you went to the dentist.
I know this, but the Nintendo thing.
That was last night for us.
As in AM? Or?
About 9 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, yesterday, Nintendo had a mini direct, and it was short, sharp, and to the point.
It was 8 minutes.
8 minutes. In fact, us bullshitting on about me going to the dentist
is longer than their direct.
Yes. So they covered a couple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 titles. I don't know what's going on. Do you want to start off with the Zelda one?
Yeah. No, I'm confused by how many. I thought there was 3.
There was 2
3.5.
Shin Megami.
Yeah. Okay.
Start off with that.
That's 1.5 for me, but okay.
Cadence of Hyrule. Start talking.
Okay, Cadence of Hyrule. It's a melody version of The Legend of Zelda. I think it was a fan-made game, and they liked it so much they developed it into a real game. Could be wrong.
It did look as though it was like similar to maybe that was a drink bottle then, flat fucking Sprite.
Right.
It sounded as though, or looks as though, it could be similar to Persona, one of the dancing ones though, like button pressed combat.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's a different style of game. I think there's a couple on the Nintendo Switch at the moment. I cannot remember the name of the other one.
They've got it, and the thing is though, they've got that main title, the Cadence of Hyrule, and they've also announced that there'll be a couple of packs, and one will be that you're not playing as Link. I think he's Skullface or something like that is the name of the new character. Looks pretty cool. It's cutesy, sort of 8-bit graphic-y looking, but you get to wander around Hyrule, bopping to the beat and smacking down the shiznit out of people. So that was the first one they covered.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer. That's the other game in the same style.
Okay.
It's the same concept, but not Zelda.
This one looks as though it's going through the eShop initially with maybe a release in October with all the packs and that.
Yeah, it's coming with a physical release in October.
So, yeah, if you do like your Nintendo first... Well, it's a first/third party, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they're using licensed Nintendo
Like I said, I think it
characters.
was a fan thing, and then they liked it so much they said, yes, you can use
this
licensed things.
This one, in a way, you can look at this direct in 2 ways. It was like slow. It was very quick, and it was over quickly. But it was a Nintendo announcement about its partner developers, which is there only is there only 8 minutes worth of fucking shit going on?
I think they're going to do more in the next couple of months.
But it was digestible. Like you could be on your 10-minute bloody smoko break at work and smash through that direct. So I guess in terms of digestibility, that was pretty good. The next one that did come out was a title called Rogue Company. Now, this is a third-person shooter, which I think will be good for the Switch. There aren't a lot of these available. There is Fortnite, of course. But, this looked more like a very stripped-down version of what you might expect from like a COD sort of game, but in the third-person world. The graphics look okay.
It's all right for what it is.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you've got to temper yourself with going, okay, this is a Switch game. So
they did mention crossplay though, so maybe it's on the others.
True, but it looked good for a Switch title.
Yes,
and that's our focus at the moment. So they're going to be complementing that with skins and I think weapons packs and the stuff. But the action looked pretty fast, frantic. The normal stuff like your mate falls down, you can revive them. That was all there as well, and in other words, Switch is just trying to bring out a fast-paced, third-person multiplayer shooter that works nicely on the format. And from what we saw, and they did show gameplay, it does look like it is something that will tickle a lot of people's fancy if they don't have access to other consoles. Next in line for this one was WWE 2K Battlegrounds, a cartooned wrestling game.
Yeah, far less serious than their...
It was like an arcade sort of brawler, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's spot on. It's far less serious than their other releases of late.
Yeah, look, I did notice that in this one too, there was basically, they had some wrestlers playing the game. You can't see my rabbit ears, but I'm doing them. Playing the game and yelling and screaming. And at the end of it, they like had a wrap up and they showed the cover. And I said, Ash, none of the wrestlers are actually on the video or on the cover. So all the big boys were like, no, because this looks like fucking horse shit. It looked very, very simple. It may be fun.
I think it's to make up for their release last year that didn't do so well.
Definitely. WWE 2K20 is probably
the
worst one ever made.
Maybe game of the last many years.
One of the things I noticed with that title too was, because I did look at comparisons back when the game released, I was never going to buy it, and I think I actually addressed that on the show, but I had a look, and like the WWE 2K19 graphics were leagues better.
Well, better, yeah.
So everyone looked like just pushed in Play-Doh people last year. This is a cartoon style, bigger than life-size heads, sort of torsos.
More legs, big chests.
Yeah. So, look, it'll be a bit of fun.
And you can get eaten by crocodiles.
And you can be eaten by alligators and crocodiles. Oh, my. So, once again, that is not going to get a cent of my money, but it is coming out. So, if you are into wrestling, and I know a lot of you are, that is a title there that will look after you just nicely. And finally, like I said, this was a short and sharp, and we've bullshitted on longer than what the actual show did. Shin Megami, that is a title by Atlas. Basically, this is 2 games here, and hence we got the 5. Tensei 3 and 5, moving away from the Persona titles with something that still looks a bit samey, to be honest with you, without the musical element. The music, I've only played Persona 5 Royal, and that was pretty cool. A massive game. I have not finished it. I never will. But the bits I played were fun and very musical and absolute eye candy. This has moved away to like a more... I think it's meant to be serious sort of title. And basically Tokyo's dead, so this guy comes back to life and has to save everyone, essentially.
Pretty much.
You were mentioning something earlier before we started, something coming up with Xbox.
Oh, yeah. They mentioned last podcast that they're doing a stream on the 28th. I was wrong. It's the 23rd. So,
you may not have been wrong.
No, I said the 28th. It was always the 23rd. I was wrong.
Doesn't matter. You still got time to watch it. 2 days.
3 days.
Oh, because of America.
23rd for the Americans.
America.
We're in the future, so we get it later.
No, we get it earlier. Later.
Yeah, later date-wise, earlier time-wise.
It's like we win, yeah, because that stuff will be released universally. Whereas with game releases, as I honestly do say to people a lot when I'm posting, hey, don't forget this game's out today. It's out tomorrow for a lot of our listeners.
Yeah, everybody else.
So, yeah, bear in mind, 23rd, wherever you live. I don't think they'll release it like Australia and America because it's YouTube and it's worldwide.
Yeah, it's a stream. It'll be a stream.
We will get it. I reckon we'll get it later in the day to account for the time changes, maybe. Yeah. Whereas you, friends in America, will get it whenever they said the time was because they're aiming it at you predominantly. So that was the Nintendo Mini Direct anyhow, and there's the new Xbox One coming up in a couple of days. In the meantime, though, for those of you whose head has been in the sand, we are now... Well, the Ghost of Tsushima game by Sucker Punch is out now, exclusively for PlayStation. One of the things I've had to constantly deal with in real life, on 4 occasions, when I'm talking to friends about it, is, oh yeah, that sounds really good. I'll get it on PC. No, it's a PlayStation exclusive. Sucker Punch, I don't know if they're owned by Sony now, but they are the guys who put out the Infamous series. So make sure that you do peep this game out. The year is 1274. Now, we're not going to do spoilers because, one, Ash is hardly into it, and as most of you probably aren't really into it yet. I have played it for quite a few hours now. I say 7 hours. It's probably more than that by now. I am utterly in love with it. So yeah, let's go back. The year's 1274, the Mongols have invaded Japan, specifically in this case, the island of Tsushima. You are a samurai by the name of Jin Sakai, Lord Jin Sakai. Your uncle is the boss of the island, and basically he's been taken prisoner. Your mission is to liberate Tsushima, regain the honor of the island, and more importantly, rescue your uncle. This game is amazing. Like your initial thought. I know you haven't done much, but your initial thoughts.
It's great. It's really good. It's just really, really good what they've done. The level of detail, the combat's very smooth. It's good. It's
like, as someone who's played it more, it's amazing. It's my feel. Gathering my words, I love this game. It's sort of, and it was a nice different break from The Last of Us Part 2. You had a very grim and gritty story, linear-driven game there where you only got the one outcome. This game's open world, and by that, there it is. It's open world. Go wherever you want, whenever you want. Jin makes his way through Tsushima, which I always struggle with saying that name.
That's why I say sashimi.
Tsushima. He makes his way through Tsushima, and there's all different factions and factors in play. There's the Mongols, of course, who have basically taken over a lot of Japan, and you find dead bodies everywhere in the game. The level of detail of the graphics is utterly amazing. There's beautiful little features like Jin might be walking through a forest and there's cherry blossoms on the ground. And if you do pay attention, like these are things that are there, but you've almost got to look for them. The petals will stir around his feet as he moves. If he runs, they'll kick up more.
The leaves do it as well. Like leaves on the ground, that's really unnecessary, but
beautiful.
It just adds to it.
They're
definitely pushing limits of current gen.
Yeah, current gen. So you make your way around, but if anyone was to say to me, what does this game feel like? To me, it feels like Assassin's Creed on steroids.
Yeah. Take note of the Assassin's Creed that comes out after Valhalla, which is probably going to be in China.
Oh, really?
I don't have a doubt.
Yeah, look, I think it would be a good time to explore Asian history like that. You know, we've done Egypt, we've done Greece, we've done Europe.
That, and they've been asking for China for many years. And
wasn't there that Assassin's Creed?
All we got was the weird side scroller.
Thank you, that's what I was asking.
Chronicles game that wasn't that.
Yes.
Good.
That was one I was thinking of. I couldn't remember its name.
They did China, Russia,
and they rushed through them.
And India, I think, and they weren't great.
They rushed through them.
It. But yeah, it's really good.
It was almost as though they weren't trying to make a good game.
No, it's almost like India wasn't part of the options. I had nothing for India.
Yeah, India no either.
No, India.
So, look, Ghost of Tsushima, massive open world, Assassin's Creed on steroids.
Phenomenal detail.
But
like
detail.
Small things like, not spoiler, when you first learn stealth, he's shit at it because he's never done it. It's not one of these games where you're instantly good at stealth, you can take someone down straight away. He struggles. And
there's for two reasons as well. It's not only because he has never done it, it's also they do delve into the mythology or whatever behind the samurai code. Yeah. Like for a samurai,
it's just a no-go.
To be a sneaky is so dishonorable. Like the first few times that you'll have to do something like that, he has an internal dialogue with his uncle who trained him as a samurai, you know, saying you've lost honor. There's no honor in this. This is not honorable.
If you're going to kill someone, you look them in the face.
And you get to. There's a beautiful combat system in it when you do come across enemies called standoff. And basically it's a timing-based strategy. Absolutely. And I know you can expand upon it, but even as far as I'm in the game, I haven't been able to yet. Standoff is basically you'll go, come and face me. And you hold down the...
triangle.
Thank you. The triangle. I'm doing it with my thumb in real life, and this is not video. And you've got to sort of work out when they're going to attack, release triangle, and then Jin will swipe, and depending on your timing is whether or not you win that face off.
It's a samurai version of Red Dead's
The quick draw thing.
quick draw thing, yeah.
The thing is, though, if you do go into standoff mode, the amount of damage you take if you fail is catastrophic.
Wouldn't know, I've never failed.
I have, but I've probably done about 50 or 60 of them. So having said that, one thing and yeah, he's having a crack at me, and that's fine. One thing I will tell you guys that the combat system in this is sublime. If you have it on hard,
Oh, yeah, it's really good.
even if you have it on hard, it's going to be a challenge on hard.
Mine's on hard.
I think I'm playing on normal. On normal, it's a bit forgiving, and but even so, I always struggled with like Sekiro and games like that. I don't know. My timing's out, and I can't figure it out. I honestly feel as though if I play this game, I might go back to Sekiro and try it. I don't
Worth
think
a shot.
The games like Dark Souls and that. No, there's
It's
no
different.
point
It's a different.
because it's learning how they fight.
It's a different beast.
But the combat is beautiful. There are parries. There are different stances that you can learn.
Yeah, I'm not up to that yet.
So your combat system evolves against the enemies, and you can switch stances during it. For example, the two first ones are rock and water, and like water, when you do get that stance, it's way easier to smash against the shield of someone who's coming up against you. You can weaken them using that stance. There are indicators of when you are going to be attacked for dodging. I don't know if on hard if you get those warnings, but say if someone's got a spear, the tip will glow red, and then they make their attack, giving you time to dodge. But the thing, this was the unwieldy thing about this, whereas in other games, the attacks and everything seem very locked on. It's easy for Jin to dodge out of the way, but then not be facing the combat.
Yeah, the non-lock-on system is weird.
I do find it odd. It's like, it sometimes almost that breaks up the battle. If the game's got a weak point, I'd say it'd be that.
Yeah, I think it's because they want you to be literally fighting multiple people at the same time. Which is what happens.
Would make sense because they do come at you all at once. I did find if you do parry successfully, it staggers your enemy. That also is a trophy achievement in the game. But if you stagger your enemy successfully and do an attack in time, it's devastating to the enemy. So I don't know if they're shocked through the sword being blocked or whatever, but you get quite a couple of hits into them. If they're just a normal swordsman, it will kill them when you retaliate. Some of the bigger guys may not fall straight away, but they are staggered back, and it does give you the opportunity to regroup if you need to. You've got a health system, which is resolve and health, and your resolve you achieve by doing particular moves or blocking and parrying. I've not really paid attention. I've noticed that you get resolved, they're like circles or moons or something, and they do increase during the game. So make sure that you're very aware of your environment during the game, because there's shrines, there's baths, there's things you can do to increase. If you just run through the game doing the story, one, you're not experiencing what a beautiful world it is that they're in, but also you could be maximizing your health, you could be getting more resolve. There's side missions which are interesting, and they allow you to go to parts of the map that you otherwise would not do in the normal story. The bathhouse is funny because, there's hot springs throughout Tsushima, and Jin gets down butt naked and hops into them. So if you want to see a samurai's backside, take him to a bathhouse.
That's where you go.
He's fucking loving it.
He is.
And he sits there and he just ponders life, and you hear him thinking about what's going on in the world. So the game is brilliant. The soundtrack is amazing. Just the crazy stuff you can do. Now, something that you won't be aware of because the game won't point it out to you. If you bow at things throughout the game by swiping down on the touchpad, Jin will bow. Now, depending on what it is, not funny things, but things that you would not expect to happen will happen if you bow at certain objects throughout the game. So I'm not suggesting you go through the whole game going, "Oh, hello," but that you just bow at stuff that may look like it's a sacred object or an object that stands out and doesn't make sense why it's there. Try bowing to it, see what happens. Not finally, it's because this is not a spoiler one. I'm far enough in, I can just say buy the game. It is a must-own. It's bloody beautiful. I think it'll be the sort of game that most of you won't sell even when you're done because it is that good. I did get the Steelbook edition, the special edition. I was disappointed with its presentation. I think they could have done a far better job.
Very basic Steelbook.
Very, very basic. It's just got the logo looks like two sort of arrows that are, I think, meant to be a mountain or something. in it. I'm not entirely sure. They're all over the Steelbook. There isn't a great sort of picture on it. In fact, the standard edition cover looks better than the Steelbook.
Yeah.
And the thing that annoyed me, because you guys would have seen if you watched the YouTube channel, I did open up the Last of Us Special Edition, which was beautifully done. It's in a thick cardboard box, steelbook, and an art book. This one did a cop-out. I actually thought that this was going to be a ton of in-game content because there was a code I had to put in, and it turned out it was a 22 gig art book. So they copped out and gave us a digital art book, which just takes, fills up room on your PlayStation. I'd rather it take up room on my bookshelf. So if you're still wavering, I dare say all the steelbooks are probably sold by now. There is not a lot of in-game content to justify that price at all. So I felt like, in a way, even though the game is probably worth paying $100 for because it is that beautiful, I felt ripped off by the fact I'd spent another $40 more than what I could have got just the standard edition and been happy.
You probably
with
could
the
have
story.
spent that on a physical art book that they'll probably come out with.
Yeah, exactly. So I do think that the pricing was a little bit misleading.
Well, considering I think Horizon Zero Dawn just gave you a digital art book, I think.
Yeah.
In the
And a lot of games just give you
special edition
concept
one.
pages and shit like that. So I think they were pulling the piss there a little bit. I don't know if it's Sony's fault or Sucker Punch, but probably Sony's because they're the ones selling the damn thing. There should have been some physical thing there for the special edition. The larger edition, which was $300 Australian dollars, did come with a full-size Oni mask.
It was very nice.
It came with the game, of course, digital in-game content, just cosmetic, and I think it came with a real art book.
Yeah, I think so.
So that would have been cool. The mask did look
The mask
exceedingly
was very cool.
And it's funny, as I'm talking, I'm looking around at all our shelving thinking...
I'm looking for all the masks that we don't have out here because they're in my room.
Yes. We've got a Master Chief helmet.
We've got a Master Chief, we've got a Doom Slayer, and the Dishonored mask
So,
in my room.
but we've got the Halo not human size helmet out here in the lounge room. Anyhow, that's our home. Hi, welcome. So, Ghost of Tsushima, please go get it. Go back to feudal Japan with me. Play this game. You will not regret it. Buy it now.
Yeah, I'm only about 40 minutes in it. It is genuinely a very nice game.
And it is one of those things that, like, the story is beautiful and it's very well done. It's not going to be like The Last of Us, where if you find out a story element, it's going to wreck the whole game for you. But there's enough little nice parts of the story that, you want to explore this game with the character. Take advantage of it. Like this, at the moment, it is a slow period for games. Like I do know that Skater XL
this is our last big this gen game. Big game.
Yeah, true. I mean, I know Assassin's Valhalla will come out on PS4, Xbox One.
Yeah, I'm talking more. Isn't going to be multi-platform.
Yeah. So this is the final hurrah, and it's a brilliant one. Skater XL does come out, I think, in the next 6 days or so. It'll be interesting to see what that game comes up with because, they brought out this game, and the thing that annoyed me is I do love skateboarding, but this game looks like it's going to be fun, but I believe that the trailers and stuff focused on the wrong thing. They were busy focusing on the sponsors and the branding.
Strange that we've gone from no skate games to 3 coming out. We've got this one, Tony Hawk, 1 and 2. And Skate 4.
And I think that's going to go off. Tony Hawk for nostalgia people like me.
And arcadey.
Yeah, I love arcade skateboarding.
Skate 4 realism and...
Yeah, so this game, I don't know, it's almost lucky it's coming out first because people have been starved for skateboard games. So I'll get it. I'll have a look at it. Yeah. But I think that by the time, if they don't nail this and get it right and the focus just isn't on fucking branding, as soon as Tony Hawk comes out, see a Skater XL. So I hope it's worth playing. I hope it's worth whatever they charge. I don't know if it's going to be a $70 or $69 game. A lot of our games in Australia tend to come out about $60, $70 on day one at least. But it'll be interesting to see what does happen down the track to see if the game keeps its momentum and traction when you've got a Goliath like Tony Hawk coming back.
And Skate, which is
huge,
arguably just as big nowadays.
Very much so. People
still play 3.
Yeah,
3
because it's
massive.
realism.
Yeah.
So in this game, in Skate, Tony Hawk's forgiving, but you can do crazy cool stuff on it. Whereas in Skate, you skate. And if you are not technically proficient, you will not do a trick. Whereas Tony Hawk, basically, you push X and you'll start to do stuff immediately.
You're in the air for like a year and
Yeah.
doing.
You come back
point
down, you've got a
combos
fucking volleyball called Wilson.
Yeah.
And, yeah. No, they're very good games. But we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for listening. Get Ghost of Tsushima. Sushimi. And we do hope that you enjoyed. Please share with your friends, and please don't hesitate to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you do want to email the show, you can at thegrowngamers@gmail.com. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is it still on your face?
It's still on my face.